very difficult 2 months to see that. When the reality is, it was just time. It was a personal matter, and we couldn't move past it. I have nothing but respect for Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Kenny Omega. I'm rooting for Tony Khan. His name is going to be in the history books as someone who helped to bankroll and support this entire alternative and revolution that AEW became. But for me, it was just time to move on. I get an opportunity at my dream. I get another chance at it. You really can't leave any store unturned with that. And that's that. That was coming from comicbook.com on Cody Rhodes WWE contract details. So it seems like he signed like a multi-year deal, which I'm excited for. And I hope they actually do right by him this time. Like I love the Stardust gimmick, but I think him now, Cody, yeah, it's like giving me John Cena vibes. He's all he's the all American super Cena, or I guess like Super Cody now. You know, um, he was getting some major heat back at AEW. Like for not putting over talent. Like coming out the big guy on top. He was top guy in AEW, and I'm excited to see what he has to offer for his in-ring return back to WWE. So I'm definitely looking forward to tonight on Raw. See how things are gonna pay out for him. If he's even on Raw, or, or who knows that he might be on SmackDown, but we don't really know for sure. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to Raw tonight. Hope you guys are too. Um, let's let's get more into relieving the wrestling world right now. Relieving the wrestling world, and we're coming back to you know um our regular news. You know, uh, let's see. Next up, I can't decide which one I want to do. So I think I'll do this one first. Millennials are behind other generations in terms of saving for retirement. CNBC has more of that next. You guys stay tuned. Welcome back and good morning. You're listening to Casey Genesis in the AM. I'm your host, Casey Genesis. Now, for all my millennials out there, um, we got it bad, y'all. It's like we got it bad. Like wrong time, wrong generation. We may be like one of the coolest generations, but as far as like when it comes to saving up and like money and financials and stuff like that, yeah, like we had the short end of the stick, man. Well, I ain't gonna say that we're cool because Gen Zs can't really stand us either, you know. But it seems like they have a chance now, if how everything is booming, as far as like the influencer world, and then YouTube, like YouTube is booming now. Like it's been booming for like the past few years. I just wish that it was booming back in the early 2000s or like mid 2000s. Like like back before the back be- before where our parents tell us you gotta go to college, you gotta get an education, and then we're all like, you know what, okay, fine, sure. Of course, millennials like, is Mark Zuckerberg a millennial? I'm not sure, but like this, like the only way that you can actually get famous or or what rich is by selling some big app, some new app, like Facebook. I think I think which came out around like 2005 or so, and even back then, it's like, yeah, that was the only thing though. It was either that or like, hey, you can go into acting, which a lot of people don't want to act. You know, like back then, millennials were kids, so it's like, no, we can only do so much shit. We didn't have no influencer worlds, out there. We didn't have no, YouTube, get rich quick shit. Um, what else? What else did we have now that we didn't have back then? Millennials. It was a lot of shit, man, and it was like so stressful trying to be seen. I remember back then, like like I was in high school. I was doing terrible in school too. Had no plans. I was a I was a young boy in Mississippi. Like my dreams were to be in a rock band, and shit like that rarely comes true, especially for a young kid in Mississippi. So I had to think realistically. And then plus my mom didn't want me in the house too. She was like stressing to get me out of the house. She was like, okay, after high school you're going straight to college. And then back then I was like, yeah, but I have no I don't know anything that I'm really good at to want to get into college. Like I wasn't even thinking about school like going forward, much less attending high school. And so I picked the only thing that I thought I was decent enough in, and that was graphic design. Since I was working with Photoshop at the age of 15, you know, and that was like the only experience I've had with Adobe. It was just like Photoshop. That was it. Like manipulation of photos and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I could get into art or graphic design. And then, so when the time came, I was in Hines Community College. Oh boy, I swear, if I knew the things I knew now and had no choice but to go back to the year 2007 and attend Hines Community College, I probably would have been done with school a long ass time ago. Like even before 2015 or hell, even before 2010, I would have been done with school. Been done with school, man. If I knew the shit I knew now, you know, or if I had the drive that I have now, than I had back then. Because back then I really wasn't invested in school. I was just getting out of the house because my mom told me to, and I was like, I guess I don't really want to work I really don't want to work in retail anymore, and I don't want to flip burgers and shit because back then there was the only thing like a normal kid would do, like for a job, flip burgers. We can't we can't just be like Justin Bieber, play the guitar somehow on camera magically. Y'all can't be that person. So I had to be like, okay, well, I guess I go to school like the rest of these millennials. So I did. Turns out I was horrible. I think a lot more horrible than I was in high school. But I did make some friends. That was it. I attended some graphic design classes, because I was in a hurry of getting out of there, honing my craft, as they say. So yeah, did that, man, and shit still didn't seem right, and it didn't work out for me because of my academics, like as far as like English and the math and science and biology and shit like that. Like all the requirements I had to take in order to let me proceed with this um, education of maths and graphic design. And the shit I was lacking in high school was the same shit I was lacking in college. And it was just the drive, and I had no interest in doing shit like that. I just wanted to be like, okay, I want to do this exact certain thing because I have the talent for it. But no, like we had to like go do all that shit in order for us to get there, and I had no interest in that, and that resulted in me failing, and then eventually dropping out in the year what 2000, 2008 or not 2008 but 2009. Like my GPA was in critical condition. So, once that was that, I moved back home. I came from moved from the dorms. Came back home. It was terrible. Just did what I could around the house and stuff like that. Then, as far as like taking care of my mom and stuff, and then I got a job in healthcare. I was a direct care worker. Helping with the physically, mentally disabled people. You know, so I had that for a full time job where I only got paid once a month, and it was nothing like but what like $1,000 a month. It was $1,000 a month, but on the side, what my graphic design, major, those classes that I took taught me was, to keep working in art, just continue, make progress in your, art, make progress in your talent, and I did, I didn't sell anything, unfortunately. Uh, I don't regret anything, It just, I think everything could have went better, you know. So yeah, I came back home, I worked a direct care worker job, at a group home, and then, on the side I was like doing my artwork, Like that's when I was introduced to Adobe Illustrator. I got really good with that, and yeah, like I still use it to this day. Just working on my art, and yeah, and let's see. Once I did that, I thought, okay, man, I need to think realistically here. Like, no wait, that didn't happen yet, but like after my direct care worker job, back in what 2012, 2013, I thought, okay, man, I need to get away from here. I need to get away from this state. This shit is trash. I hate it here. I need to go where it's like bigger. And this was the time when my brother had moved to Seattle. He started working in IT and whatnot. And then I just say, hey, can I come stay with you, man? Like, I don't want to be here in Mississippi anymore. And I just want to, like, get away from it all. He was like, yeah, sure, come stay with me. And so I packed up my bags and I quit my job, Then I moved back. But I moved to Seattle. I moved to Seattle.